Happy Easter. I'm Andy Otto, and I'm on the pastoral team at Ignatius House. We begin this 7-week season with the resurrection accounts from the Gospels. If you've been looking at the lectionary readings this week, you'll have noticed that. One of the most moving gospel accounts is of the very first witness of the resurrection, Mary Magdalene. In fact, our tradition has called her the apostle to the apostles. She was the first to announce the good news to the others. Mary has a unique commitment to Jesus that we just don't see in the other apostles. The scriptures say that Peter and another disciple who ran to the tomb went back home after seeing the empty tomb. But Mary stayed. Mary stayed. I'm struck by the deep intimacy and friendship the account in the Gospel of John conveys. We witness Mary just sitting and weeping for the loss of her friend, not being able to find his body. My imagination returns me to her first encounter with Jesus, where he cast out 7 demons from her, perhaps an indication as to the magnitude of her conversion. All we know is that she was a sinner, the kind of people Jesus loved spending time with. And Jesus met her in a time of need, a moment of despair. So I wonder about their friendship. What did they converse about? How was she a part of his ministry? Perhaps she was there at the Last Supper or on the road to Calvary. Mary was one of the few women who stayed with Jesus at the cross. As he was once with her in a time of vulnerability and need, she was now with him in his own vulnerability and seeming defeat. Surely her presence there speaks to her closeness with Jesus. In the 3rd week of the spiritual exercises, St. Ignatius invites us to stay at the cross with Jesus, not to run away as we might feel tempted to do. The cross is the place where the relationship becomes real, where the commitment becomes real. It seems to me that only the grace of true love and intimate companionship would allow one to remain in such an awful moment. In the exercises, we become one with our beloved as we share in his suffering. And when the resurrection comes, we share in his joy. Mary Magdalene seemed to live this reality. Her friendship with Jesus went so deep that she was with him in the suffering and the joy. So imagine how she felt at the tomb when she saw his body was gone. Her tears were of loss, of missing, of yearning even just to see his body. And when she mistakes the risen Jesus for the gardener, she says, "Sir, if you carried him away, tell me where you laid him, and I will take him." She was willing to even take his body and give it the honor and reverence only an intimate companion would give. And when she does finally recognize Jesus as alive, she is overwhelmed with joy. But Jesus tells her not to cling, rather to go out and to tell the others that he is alive. Mary becomes the first herald of the good news we as Christians celebrate this Easter season. She was the apostle to the apostles. Because of this, in 2016, Pope Francis elevated her memorial to a feast day, celebrated every July 22nd. Mary Magdalene's witness story of the resurrection reminds us of the call to see Jesus as an intimate companion, a friend with whom we walk through both joy and suffering. It is also a reminder of our call to herald the news of Christian hope, that God brings new life and transforms hearts. Happy Easter.